Welcome to DBS Talks. Okay, so last class we discussed. Cycloconverter introduction and how it works, how it works the principle, and we have so how it works introduction principle, and we have discussed in last class. So today our topic single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Okay, here we are using single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Actually cycloconverter will will controls the output frequency will be 1 by third of input frequency, and they are rarely used in practice. However, these are required to understand the fundamental principle of cycloconverter. So the single phase to single phase cycloconverter will be rarely used, and this is required for understanding fundamental principle of cycloconverter. It consists of two full wave full controlled bridge thyristor, where each bridge has four thyristors and each of bridge is connected in opposite direction back to back. Okay, such that both positive and negative voltage can be obtained as shown in figure. Okay, here both these bridges are excited by a single phase 50 Hz AC supply. Here this bridge circuit will be excited by a single phase 50 Hz supply. Okay, here single phase to single phase cycloconverter are rarely used, but it is used for understanding fundamental principle of cycloconverter. It consists of two full wave full controlled bridge thyristor. It consists of two full wave full controlled bridge thyristor, where each bridge has four thyristor. One and each bridge is connected in opposite direction. That means it will be connected in back to back connection, so that both positive and negative voltages can be obtained. So that will be shown in figure, and both of these bridges will be excited by a single phase AC supply with 50 Hz supply. Okay, so this is a circuit diagram of bridge type cycloconverter. Here one bridge will be positive and another bridge will be negative. So one will act as a converter, and so one will act as a rectifier and another will act as a inverter. Here for both for both bridge for both bridges we are supplying single phase AC supply with 50 Hz. Here this is a bridge 1. Here bridge 1 that is positive and bridge 2 that is negative. This is connected back to back connection, and load will be connected at middle of these two bridges. IP and IN. So here rectifier and inverter will be there. So here this is a circuit diagram of bridge type cycloconverter. Okay, so the figure 5.18 will show a circuit diagram of which type cycloconverter. It consists of single phase full bridge converter, and that is two bridges will be connected back to back conversion. One will act as a rectifier and another will act as a inversion mode. Okay, here N converter will act as a rectification and P converter will act as a inversion mode. Okay, this is circuit diagram of bridge type cycloconverter. So during positive half cycle of input voltage, positive converter bridge 1 will be turned on and it supplies the load current. During the negative half cycle of input, negative bridge is turned on and it supplies a load current. Both converters should not conduct together, that causes short circuit at the input. To avoid this, triggering to a thyristor of bridge 2 is inhibited during positive half cycle for load current, while the triggering is applied for thyristor of bridge 1 as their gate during the negative half cycle of load current. Triggering to positive bridge is inhibited while applying a triggering to negative bridge. By controlling the switching period of thyristor, time period of both positive and negative half cycle are changed. and hence the frequency. So this frequency of fundamental output voltage can be easily reduced in step. So that is half, 1 by third and 1 by fourth and so on. So the frequency of output will be reduced with half, 1 by third and 1 by 4 and so on. Okay, here during so this bridge 1 will be positive and bridge 2 will be negative. Whenever we are giving a positive signal, then bridge 1 will be operated, and this bridge 2 will be in off condition. Whenever negative supply will be given, then bridge 2 will be operated and bridge 1 will be in off state. So at same time, though these two bridges will not work, whenever it will work, then it will be shorted. So there is a damage of whole system. So that's why we can operate only one bridge at a time. Okay, so input and output waveforms of a bridge type cycloconverter. Here it is a single phase to single phase cycloconverter. So this is a source voltage Vs and here V naught. So average voltage per pulses for half cycle. So for a half cycle, so half cycle means it will comes up to pi. So for positive bridge, it will be coming only positive pulses, and for negative bridge, it will, so negative bridge will works as a inversion mode. So in negative bridge, inversion voltage is applied. So in negative voltage will be obtained for alpha equal to 0. For alpha equal to 60 degrees, the voltage output voltage will comes like this. Okay. So for positive half cycle, so the voltages will be obtained positive, and for a negative bridge, it will be negative pulses will be there. Okay, so here varying for different pulses, here the V naught will be like this. So these are the input and output waveforms for a bridge type cycloconverter. So single phase to single phase cycloconverter output voltages for different firing angles. Okay. So from the above figure shows that output waveforms of cycloconverter that produces 1 by 4th of input frequency. Here the first two cycles are, that is positive converter will be operated and supplies a current to the load. So it rectifier in the input voltage and produces a unidirectional output voltage. We can observe 4 positive half cycles in the figure, and during the next 2 cycles negative converter operates and supplies a load current. Here the current waveforms are not shown because it is a resistive load. So in where current is exactly follows the voltage. Here one converter is disabled if another one will be operated. So there is no circulating current between two converters. Since the discontinuous mode of control schemes is complicated, most of the cycloconverters are operated on circulating current mode, whereas continuous current is allowed to follow between the converter with a reactor. So the circulating current type cycloconverter can be operated on both pure resistive load and inductive load. So that is, so from the figure you have to show that output waveform of cycloconverter that will produces 1 by 4th of the input frequency. Here from the first 2 cycles, the positive converter will operate and supplies a current. Positive converter will be operates and supplies a current to the load. Here positive converter will be operated and supplies a current to load. When it rectifies the input voltage and produces a unidirectional output voltage. So it will rectifies the output voltage and produces unidirectional output voltage. So as we can observe, 4 positive half cycles in a figure. So 4 positive half cycles in a figure. And during next 2 cycles, the negative converter will be operated and supplies a load current. Okay. So here the first cycle will be act as a rectifier and it will be 4 positive half cycle. So during next 2 cycle, the negative converter will be operate and supplying a load current. So here the current waveform are not shown. Why? Because for a resistive load, the voltage and current waveform are exactly same. That's why we will show only positive output voltage only, voltage waveforms. Here one converter will be disabled if another converter will operate. That means if one converter will be operated, then another converter will be in off state. So there is no circulating current between two converters. So since the discontinuous mode of control scheme is complicated, so most of the cycloconverter will operated in circulating current mode, whereas in continuous current is allowed to flow between the converter with a reactor. Why? So it is a continuous mode of current. Why? Because here two converters will be there. So one converter will be in off state and another converter will send the current to the load. So that's why this is a continuous current will be allowed in the cycloconverter. So this circulating current type cycloconverter can be operated in both purely resistive load and RL load also. So that means resistive and inductive load also. Okay. So single phase to single phase cycloconverter, we have you connected two two bridge converter will be connected in anti-parallel. Okay. So here one converter will act as a rectifier and another converter will act as a inverter. So whenever one bridge will be operating and another bridge will be in off state. Whenever one converter will be on state and another converter will be off state. We can't run both two bridges simultaneously. We can run one after one after another one bridge. Okay. Next coming, we have to take in one problem. For a single phase to single phase cycloconverter is supplying a inductive load compressing so compressing of compressing of. So we have taken one problem here. Single phase to single phase cycloconverter supplying a inductive load and compressing of a resistive of 5 ohm and an inductance of 4 millihenry from a 230 volts 50 hertz single phase supply. It is required to provide an output frequency which is 1 by third of input frequency. If the converters are operated as a semi-converter such that and the firing delay angle of 120 degrees, neglecting harmonic content of load voltage, and you have to determine RMS value of output voltage and RMS current of each thyristor and input power factor. So it is a single phase to single phase cycle. So in this problem, it is given that single phase to single phase cycloconverter and resistance will be given and inductance will be given and supply voltage Vs also given and frequency also given. So in single phase supply it is required to provide output frequency will be 1 by third of input frequency. So if the converter will be operated in semi converter such that the firing delay, so it will be operated with a firing delay of 120 degrees and neglecting harmonic content of load voltage, and we have to determine RMS value of output voltage and RMS current of each thyristor and input power factor. So we have to see this solution. Here E voltage will be given as 230 volts and frequency will be 50 Hz. Here firing angle will be 120 degrees. 120 degree means 2 pi by 3. Here output frequency will be given as 1 by, so output frequency will be 1 by third of input frequency. So that means 50 by 2. So that implies 16.3 by 16.2 by 3 Hz. Okay. and resistance will be 5 ohms and inductance will be 4 millihenry. So omega naught, so output frequency 2 pi into 50 by 3. Okay, so 2 pi by 3 into 50. Then you get 104. So we can converting radians. So then 2 pi by 3 into 50, then it will be 104.72 radians per second. Here XL equal to omega naught into L. Omega naught value will be 104.72 into and the inductance will be 40 into 10 power minus 3. Then we get 4.188 ohms. So XL means inductive reactance. So ZL, so impedance ZL equal to root of R square plus XL square. R square value will be given as 5 ohms and XL will be calculated. So that is 4.188 whole square. Then you have to simplify it. Then we get ZL value will be 6.52 ohms. Okay, so the RMS, we have to calculate the RMS output voltage and RMS load current of and power factor. So here RMS value for output voltage we have to calculate it as E, that is E naught equal to E into 1 by 5 pi minus alpha p plus sine 2 alpha p by 2 whole power 1 by 2. Then you have to substitute this value, that is 230 into 1 by pi into pi minus alpha p value will be 2 pi by 3 and sine of 240. So 120 into 2 will be 240 by 2 whole power 1 by 2. Then you have to simplify this value. Then we get RMS output voltage E naught equal to 101.6 volt and RMS value of load current I naught equal to E naught by ZL. E naught value will be 101.6 by Z value will be, so Z value have calculated now, that is 4.188. So here we have taken as XL value. Why? Because for each thyristor, so that's why you have taken as XL. So RMS current through each converter group, so that is 24.26 amps. Okay, so in that we have to see in that it will be given as E value. So 230 volts frequency will be 50 Hz and firing angle will be 120 and frequency are calculated as 1 by third of its frequency. Okay. 1 by third of frequency means, so 50. So actually it will be operated in half of the frequency. So that's why 50 by 3. Okay. 15 ని 1 by third cheyali. Okay, then you get the value. Okay, that is 16.22. Okay, next resistance will be given and inductance will be given. Then here frequency will be converted to radians. When your frequency will be connected to radians means 2 pi by 3 into 50. Then you get 104.72 radians. Then XL equal to omega naught L. Then ZL will be calculated. For 0 less than alpha less than pi, the RMS value of output voltage E naught will be calculated as E into 1 by pi minus alpha p plus sine 2 alpha p by 2 whole power 1 by 2. Then you have to substitute this value. We get RMS output voltage of 101.2 and RMS value of load current I naught equal to E naught by XL. Here XL. Then E naught value 101.6 by XL value will be 4.18. Then so you have to simplified, then you get 24.26 amps. So the RMS current through each converter group will be IP equal to IN equal to I naught by root 2. So that is 17.1542 amps. So and the RMS current through each thyristor. For each thyristor RMS current equal to IP by root 2. So IP value will be 17.1542 by root 2. That is 12.13 amps. So this is RMS current of each thyristor and RMS current through each converter group and RMS load current also we are calculated. Next we have to calculate in power factor. So we want to calculate power factor. The power factor output power equal to P naught equal to E naught I naught cos pi. So then we find P naught, E naught, I naught value. Here RMS input current II equal to I naught equal to 24.26. So the volt ampere rating E unto I. So that is E value will be 230 and I value will be 24.26. Then we get 5580 volt amperes. So that is output power P naught equal to E naught I naught cos phi naught. Here, so you get E naught value will be 101.6 and I naught will be 24.26. So E naught means 230 by root 2. Then we get to 101.6. 24 into cos of 40 degrees. Then we get 18th. So 1,888.1 watts. This is output power. Then power factor equal to P naught by E into I. So here P naught value is the 1,888 for simplification. Then E into I value will be 5580. So this then we have to simplify it. Then you get 0.3384. So this is lagging. Why? Because the value will be in 0.333. So 0.3384. This will be lagging. So now power factor equal to MF by root 2 into cos phi, where MF equal to cos of 180 minus alpha p. So here then alpha p means 120. Then we get cos 60 degrees. Cos 60 means 0.5. Then cos pi equal to cos 40 equal to 0.766. So then power factor equal to 0.5 by root 2 into cos 40. Then we get 0.27. Okay. So this is power factor. So from this we are calculated output voltage and RMS output RMS voltage, RMS output voltage and RMS value of output current and each RMS value of each thyristor and output current, and here we are calculated as power factor. Okay. So thank you to everyone. So today we will discuss it single phase to single phase cyclo converter and some problems we are discussed. Thank you.